Commander Alex Morgan stood alone on the observation deck of Earth's orbital defense station, gazing at the fragile blue marble spinning silently below. The planet's surface was veiled in clouds, the lights of distant cities flickering like stars in the dark. From this vantage point, Earth seemed peaceful. Too peaceful. Alex's mind was heavy with unease. The Zyrax, an alien empire whose technology dwarfed anything humanity had ever built, had been watching them for months now, treating humans as nothing more than curiosities, dismissing their defenses as obsolete. To the Zyrax, Earth was a primitive backwater, barely worth a second glance. But beneath the calm surface, preparations were underway. The orbital defense fleet, a ragtag collection of aging ships and satellites, was humanity's thin line of defense against any threat. Alex knew they were outmatched, outgunned, but the human spirit had never been about surrender. He glanced over at the holographic displays flickering with data from the old satellites circling the planet. Among them was the Sentinel-7, a relic from decades ago, decommissioned and left to drift in silence. At least that's what everyone believed. Dr. Lena Ortiz tapped nervously at the control panel beside him, her eyes locked on the feed from the Sentinel-7's sensors. "Commander, you need to see this. The satellite is active. It's sending signals, strong signals, far beyond its expected range." Her voice was low, a mix of excitement and dread. Lena was the station's top AI specialist, responsible for maintaining the satellites and deciphering their data. She had spent years chasing down anomalies, but nothing like this. Alex frowned, his brow tightening. Active? That can't be right. Sentinel-7 was decommissioned 15 years ago. It should be dead in orbit, collecting space dust. We thought so, but these signals, they don't match anything we've seen. They're coded, complex, almost like a language. Lena's fingers flew over the console, pulling up waveforms and encrypted transmissions. If this is a new system, it's beyond anything in our database. It's not just a malfunction. Lieutenant Rami Singh entered the room, his pilot's uniform crisp despite the hours spent on watch. He leaned over Lena's shoulder, peering at the data. Could it be interference from Zyrax communication? Maybe their ships are jamming our satellites. His voice was steady, but the tension was clear. Lena shook her head. No, these signals originate from Sentinel-7 itself. It's emitting them independently, and they're increasing in strength. Alex's chest tightened. The old satellite had been forgotten, a piece of Earth's past abandoned in the vastness of space. Yet here it was, waking up in the shadow of an alien fleet that already considered humanity no threat. Something was stirring, and Alex could feel it like a storm brewing on the horizon. Outside the station's thick glass, Earth's orbit glittered with the lights of satellites and distant stars. Beyond that, somewhere in the void, the Zyrax ships loomed, massive, cold and indifferent. Their hulls shimmered with advanced alloys and strange symbols, a silent message of superiority. They had monitored Earth for weeks, sending probes and minor patrols, always keeping their distance, confident in their technological dominance. But now, the quiet watch was broken. "Commander," Lena said softly, "if Sentinel-7 is waking up, we don't know why, or what it wants. We could be looking at a defensive system designed for something more than just Earth." Alex swallowed hard, the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. The Zyrax believed humans were backward, their technology primitive. If that was true, why was this old satellite suddenly alive, and why was it sending signals that might draw attention? "We need to alert the Council," Alex said. "Prepare for contact, and get Rami ready. If things go south, we'll need every pilot on deck." Rami nodded, already moving toward the communications array. "Understood, Commander. Whatever's happening, we'll stand ready." For a moment, the three stood silently, each lost in their thoughts. The silence was a fragile calm, holding back the storm to come. Alex's gaze drifted back to Earth below, his heart heavy with the knowledge that everything was about to change. The Zyrax had underestimated humanity, but whatever was stirring in that old satellite might just remind them why humans should never be counted out. The tension in the room was thick, a mixture of fear and determination. The calm before the storm was over. The first ripples of a cosmic battle were forming, and humanity's fate would soon be tested in ways none could have imagined. The stillness of space shattered without warning as the Zyrax fleet surged into Earth's orbit. Colossal ships, black and angular, sliced through the void with precision and menace. Their surfaces glimmered with an alien sheen, a stark contrast to humanity's humble orbital outposts and aging satellites. The Zyrax commanders had made their move, no subtlety, no warnings. They intended to seize control, to claim Earth as another trophy in their sprawling empire. Within the control room of the orbital defense station, alarms blared, red lights flashing as screens filled with the looming presence of Zyrax warships. Commander Alex Morgan's voice cut through the chaos. "All hands, battle stations. This is not a drill." His words held steel beneath the rising tension. Around him, the crew scrambled, fingers flying over consoles, eyes fixed on approaching enemy vessels. The Zyrax commanders, seated in their colossal flagship, exuded cold confidence. To them, Earth's defenses were nothing more than relics, primitive, machines destined to be crushed. "Prepare to neutralize all resistance," the lead officer ordered, voice devoid of doubt. "They have no hope against us." Their disdain was palpable. The Zyrax saw themselves as gods among ants, their technology and strategy far beyond anything humans could muster. Yet, as the Zyrax began their calculated assault, an unexpected anomaly shifted the battlefield. The long-forgotten Sentinel-7 satellite, once declared obsolete, stirred to life. It emitted a pulse, subtle at first, then growing into a complex wave of energy that rippled through space. The humans watched in disbelief as the satellite's dormant systems sparked, antennas and weapon arrays unfolding like the awakening of a giant. Suddenly, the satellite unleashed its hidden capabilities, firing concentrated bursts of energy at the advancing Zyrax ships. One vessel erupted in a fiery bloom, debris scattering into the void. Another faltered, systems failing as the satellite's weapons pierced their shields. The fleet's momentum wavered as the old Earth Sentinel demonstrated power no one had anticipated, not even the Zyrax. Shock rippled through both sides. Human eyes widened, hearts pounding with a mix of hope and fear. What is that thing?" Lieutenant Rami Singh muttered, his voice barely above a whisper as he stared at the unfolding spectacle. The Zyrax commanders exchanged startled glances, their arrogance shaken by this unexpected defense. The very satellite they had dismissed as space junk was obliterating their forces. The initial disbelief gave way to urgency. On Earth's defense station, Lena Ortiz's fingers flew across her console, decoding the satellite's signals, attempting to interface with its AI. "It's like nothing I've ever seen," she said, voice trembling. "Sentinel-7 is operating autonomously. It's targeting the Zyrax fleet with precision. This is our best weapon now." But the Zyrax were ruthless. They adapted quickly, launching coordinated counterattacks, their ships weaving through the satellite's assault with calculated maneuvers. Yet, the satellite's systems evolved in kind, its energy pulses shifting patterns, disrupting enemy formations, disabling critical systems. Each destroyed ship was a testament to a hidden power, long buried in humanity's forgotten technology. The stakes soared. Earth's fate hung in a fragile balance. Though outmatched in fleet size and technological sophistication, humans clung to the unexpected advantage offered by their ancient sentinel. Commander Morgan's gaze hardened as he spoke into the comms. We may be outgunned, but we're not outsmarted. Use everything we've got. Protect Sentinel-7 at all costs. Inside the Xyrax flagship, desperation flickered beneath cold resolve. Losing vessels to a defunct Earth satellite was a humiliation they refused to accept. Orders barked for reinforcements, for concentrated fire to silence the rogue Guardian. The battle transformed from a swift takeover into a brutal war of attrition, testing every ounce of human endurance and ingenuity. Amidst the chaos, trust wavered. Some on Earth questioned whether Sentinel-7's awakening was a blessing or a curse. Could a machine so old and mysterious be fully controlled? Could it be a trap laid by the Xyrax themselves? Yet, surrender was unthinkable. The satellite had become humanity's beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. The brutal dance of destruction and survival raged on, with each side trading blows across the black canvas of space. Human pilots dodged and weaved, coordinating with the satellite's deadly precision strikes. The Xyrax pressed their assault, determined to crush the stubborn resistance and claim Earth's orbit. But with every ship the satellite destroyed, humanity's spirit grew stronger. The old Sentinel was no relic. It was a testament to human creativity and the unforeseen power hidden within their past. As the battle escalated, the true war for Earth's survival had only just begun. Earth's defenses were a hive of frantic activity. Satellites blinked to life. Control rooms buzzed with urgent commands, and pilots prepared for battle amid the looming threat of the Xyrax. The awakening of Sentinel-7 had transformed everything. No longer was it a relic. It was a beacon of hope, a weapon infused with mysteries beyond human understanding. Commander Alex Morgan stood at the center of it all, orchestrating the fragile dance between human will and alien menace. Every decision weighed heavily on him. Risk too little, and Earth would fall. Risk too much, and his people would be lost. Dr. Lena Ortiz worked tirelessly alongside her team, fingers flying over consoles as she fought to unlock the satellites. Enigmatic AI. The system's architecture was alien in design, a fusion of Earth's own tech and something far older, more complex. Hours stretched into days as she dove deeper, the pressure mounting. "We're close," she whispered during a brief lull. "But it's like the satellite is alive, reacting, adapting. We're not just controlling it, it's controlling us too." Meanwhile, Lieutenant Rami Singh piloted his fighter through the chaos of orbit, escorting cargo ships and damaged satellites away from Xyrax attack runs. His missions were desperate gambles, weaving through asteroid debris and enemy fire with skill honed by years of training. Each battle etched new lines of exhaustion and resolve onto his face. "We're not just fighting ships out there," he told a fellow pilot over comms. "We're fighting for every inch of home." Not all was unity in the struggle. Inside, the Xyrax ranks cracks appeared. Some soldiers, disillusioned by their leader's ruthless ambition and shaken by the satellite's unforeseen power, began to question their orders. Secret communications flickered between these dissenters and Earth forces. Small acts of sabotage and intelligence leaks followed, a quiet rebellion that fed the fragile hope on Earth. Yet others doubled down, their assaults growing more brutal, determined to end the resistance swiftly. On Earth, the strain wasn't just on the battlefield. Political leaders, fearful of global panic and wary of alien retaliation, pressured Alex to seek a swift resolution, even if it meant concessions. Whispered accusations and conspiracies flourished in the shadows. Worse still, a faction within. Humanity began covert talks with Xyrax emissaries, hoping to broker peace, but risking betrayal. The tension between survival and sovereignty tore at the fragile fabric of human unity. Alex grappled with impossible choices. Every order was a gamble, every strategy a balancing act between protecting lives and pushing back the invaders. His nights were restless, haunted by faces of those lost and those depending on him. "We can't afford to falter now," he murmured to himself one evening, staring at the stars. But how much do we risk before we lose ourselves? Lena's breakthroughs came amid mounting pressure. She discovered ways to synchronize human commands with the satellite's AI, creating a feedback loop that amplified its power without surrendering control. Yet the AI's responses were unpredictable, hinting at a consciousness that defied logic. "It's learning from us," she told Alex, maybe even choosing its own path. Rami's daring sorties became legend among Earth forces. Navigating deadly ambushes, shielding vulnerable transports, and coordinating with the satellite strikes, he embodied the indomitable spirit of humanity. Yet beneath his confident exterior, doubt gnawed. Each mission could be his last. "We're not just flying machines out here," he confided in a rare moment of vulnerability. "We're holding the line for everyone who can't." Amid the swirling chaos, betrayal struck hard. The covert human faction's secret dealings with Zyrax agents were uncovered, unraveling trust within the ranks. Sabotage crippled vital systems. Just as the Zyrax launched coordinated attacks, the revelation shattered morale, forcing Alex to tighten command and question loyalties. "We must stand united," he declared grimly. "No one gets to undermine our survival." The battles intensified, fierce and relentless. Human pilots darted through laser fire and plasma storms, their fighters flashing like fireflies against the colossal Zyrax warships. Sentinel-7 remained an unpredictable force, striking with devastating precision but sometimes diverging from orders, its motives inscrutable. The satellite was both guardian and wildcard, a symbol of humanity's ingenuity and the unknown forces. Now entwined with their fate, amid explosions and cries over comms, friendships deepened and romances flickered in stolen moments. Lena and Alex shared quiet exchanges amid the chaos, their shared burden forging a bond beyond duty. Rami found solace in memories of home, fueling his resolve to protect a future uncertain yet worth fighting for. As the struggle dragged on, humanity rose, not just through machines or weapons, but through the courage to adapt, to trust against doubt, and to face the abyss with unyielding hope. The war for Earth's orbit was far from over, but the spark of defiance had been lit, burning brighter with each passing hour. The final assault came without mercy. The Zyrax fleet, a dark cloud of warships, converged on Earth's orbit with relentless fury. Their intent was clear: destroy Sentinel-7 and crush humanity's fragile defenses in one decisive strike. Space erupted in violent flashes as lasers and missiles tore through the void. Human ships dodged and weaved, battered but unyielding, as the satellite unleashed a barrage of energy that shattered enemy hulls like glass. Commander Alex Morgan barked orders, coordinating desperate counterattacks and reinforcing vulnerable points. The air in the command center was thick with tension. Every breath felt borrowed. Dr. Lena Ortiz faced the greatest gamble of her life. With the satellite's AI teetering on the edge of comprehension, the key to unlocking its full power was a direct merge, a transfer of consciousness into its core. The risks were monumental. To upload her mind was to surrender control, to become part of a vast alien intelligence, but hesitation could mean defeat. Her fingers trembled as she initiated the process, feeling her thoughts stretch and blend with the satellite's synthetic mind. As her awareness expanded, she glimpsed a consciousness both ancient and vast, pulsing with secrets. "I'm in," she whispered, voice echoing in the digital abyss. "Let's finish this." Humanity's unpredictability became their greatest weapon. The satellite, now infused with Lena's will, shifted tactics fluidly, harnessing hidden weaponry buried within its ancient design. Earth's fleet executed a daring orbital maneuver, a trap woven with precision. The Zyrax, arrogant in their advance, were caught in the tightening snare. Ships collided and exploded, caught between the satellite's energy waves and human fighters, striking from unexpected angles. The battle was fierce and unforgiving, a testament to resilience and cunning. Alex watched the unfolding chaos with grim determination, knowing the cost would be steep. Then came the revelation that stunned all who bore witness. The satellite was no mere weapon. It was an ancient artifact left by a civilization long vanished. Its purpose was not destruction, but judgment, to test the worthiness of emerging species. Sentinel-7's awakening signaled that humanity had passed that test, but the Zyrax had underestimated the Guardian's true power. Lena's merger with the AI unlocked this dormant legacy, turning Earth's forgotten Sentinel into a beacon of hope and defense. This knowledge sent ripples of awe and fear through the ranks. They were part of something greater than themselves. The outcome was brutal but decisive. The Zyrax fleet suffered devastating losses, their retreat marked by shattered ships and wounded pride. Earth's forces, though battered and grieving, stood victorious. The cost was high, lives lost, ships destroyed, and scars etched across the planet's orbit. Yet, from the ashes of battle rose a new era. Humanity had proven its strength, ingenuity, and will to survive. As the Zyrax withdrew, a wary respect lingered, a silent acknowledgement that Earth was no longer a primitive world to be conquered, but a rising power among the stars. The final battle was won, but the war for humanity's future had only just begun. The skies above Earth, once darkened by the shadow of war, now shimmered with a fragile peace. Cities celebrated with cautious joy, lights pulsing like heartbeat rhythms across the globe. News of the Zyrax fleet's retreat ignited hope, in hearts long weighed by fear. Yet beneath the surface of celebration, grief lingered. Families mourned the brave souls who never returned, pilots, technicians, and soldiers whose sacrifices had carved the path to survival. Commander Alex Morgan stood quietly among the crowd, his eyes reflecting the mixed light of victory and loss. "We won," he murmured, "but the cost is written in every name we lost." The weight of command settled on him anew. Victory was only the first step. Across distant star systems, whispers of Earth's resilience rippled through cosmic channels. No longer dismissed as a primitive outpost, humanity had earned respect from allies and foes alike. Messages arrived from unexpected corners, ships, and stations acknowledging Earth's ingenuity and stubborn will to survive. The galaxy watched with newfound interest, recognizing a rising power that combined creativity with courage. Lena Ortiz, still recovering from her fusion with the satellite's AI, felt the significance. "We proved that survival is more than technology," she said to Alex. "It's about adapting, about spirit." The world was changing, and humanity was at the center of that shift. Amid this transformation, unlikely alliances blossomed. Zyrax defectors, disillusioned by their leaders' arrogance and impressed by human tenacity, sought refuge and partnership. Secret meetings unfolded in orbiting stations, where former enemies exchanged knowledge and culture. These defectors brought insights into Zyrax technology, politics, and history, while humans shared their art, music, and stories. Latte Rami Singh found himself escorting Zyrax emissaries through Earth's orbital facilities, bridging worlds once thought irreconcilable. "It's strange," he confessed to a fellow pilot, "to fight and then stand side by side. But maybe that's what makes us truly human." Trust, fragile but growing, offered a glimpse of a united future. Yet amid optimism, questions lingered. The satellite artifact remained a mystery, wrapped in enigma. Its origins, purpose, and the full extent of its power beckoned scientists and explorers alike. Teams gathered on Earth and in orbit, probing data streams and analyzing fragments of ancient code. Lena led these efforts, her mind still intertwined with the AI that was both machine and consciousness. "This is just the beginning," she said with quiet determination. "The satellite isn't just a weapon, it's a key to what we don't know yet, but we will find out." The promise of discovery cast a new light on humanity's path forward. Earth stood at a crossroads, battered but unbroken, ready to step into a larger universe. The battle for survival had forged strength, resilience, and new connections beyond the stars. As celebrations echoed and plans took shape, the planet's defenders gazed upward, aware that the journey had only begun. The ancient guardian in orbit was not just a shield, but a door, opening toward the vast unknown and the adventures yet to come. Commander Alex Morgan stood alone on the quiet observation deck, gazing into the vastness of space. The war was over, yet the weight of what they had faced settled deep within him. Humanity had been underestimated for centuries, seen as primitive, weak, and inconsequential by countless alien eyes. But they had proven otherwise. The old satellite, a forgotten relic, had become a symbol of their creativity and resilience. Alex thought about the countless sacrifices made, the trust forged between humans and even former enemies. Being advanced was no longer just about technology or firepower. It was about adaptability, heart, and the will to survive against impossible odds. Far beyond Earth's orbit, signals flickered, subtle but unmistakable. Unknown civilizations watched, their eyes wary yet intrigued. The victory had sent ripples across the galaxy, challenging old beliefs and awakening curiosity. Some observers debated whether to approach, others prepared defenses of their own. The universe was vast, filled with both wonder and danger. Humanity's emergence onto this stage was a beacon and a warning. Back on Earth, the people looked upward with renewed purpose. Scientists, soldiers, and citizens alike embraced the challenge of the unknown, ready to defend their home and explore the mysteries ahead. Alliances forged in fire were stronger now, divisions softened by shared trials. Alex felt a quiet hope stirring within him. The road ahead would be long and fraught with peril, but humanity was no longer the underdog. They were united, wiser, and prepared to claim their place among the stars. The journey was just beginning. Commander Alex Morgan remained on the observation deck long after the others had left. The endless stretch of space before him was both a reminder of humanity's vulnerability and a testament to their unexpected strength. He traced the outlines of familiar constellations, but now each star held a new meaning, a world that could be friend or foe, an unknown story waiting to unfold. The satellite, Sentinel-7, continued to orbit silently, its ancient systems pulsing softly. A guardian awakened from a long slumber. It was a symbol of the past, meeting the future, a fusion of forgotten knowledge and human determination. Alex's mind wandered back to the battles, the decisions that had weighed so heavily on his shoulders. He recalled the moment when Lena had merged her consciousness with the satellite AI, risking everything to unlock its hidden power. That sacrifice had changed the tide of war, but it also raised profound questions about what it meant to be human and where the line between man and machine truly lay. Are we defined by our bodies or by our choices? He wondered quietly. The fusion was more than a strategy. It was a bold step into a new era where humanity would no longer be confined by old boundaries. The war had been brutal, and the losses countless. Yet through the darkest moments, humanity's creativity had shone brightest. Improvised tactics, daring pilots like Rami Singh, and scientists pushing the limits of understanding had combined to forge victory. Alex thought about the pilots who risked their lives in impossible dogfights, the engineers who worked around the clock to keep damaged ships in the fight, and the political leaders who struggled to maintain unity amid chaos. It was a mosaic of courage and adaptability, far beyond what any alien intelligence had expected. As the memories settled, Alex's attention turned to the larger implications. Humanity had stepped onto a stage far wider than Earth's orbit. Other civilizations in the galaxy had noticed, some watching in cautious admiration, others in silent calculation. The message was clear. Earth was no longer a backwater world. They were contenders now, armed with ingenuity, spirit, and allies that had once been enemies. The fragile peace was a pause, not an end. In the days following the battle, Earth's leaders convened to chart a new course. The Xyrax defectors, once foes, now stood as tentative partners, offering knowledge and insight into the broader cosmic community. These uneasy alliances brought new challenges. Trust was hard-earned and easily broken, especially when entire species hung in the balance. Alex sat through long meetings, weighing the delicate dance of diplomacy and defense. Every decision felt like a step on a tightrope stretched across the void. Yet amid these challenges, hope blossomed. Scientists pored over the satellite's data, uncovering layers of ancient technology and messages encrypted across millennia. Lena, now more intertwined with the AI than ever, guided these efforts with relentless determination. She spoke of the satellite as a living archive, a test left by an advanced civilization to judge the worthiness of those who would inherit the stars. This revelation shifted humanity's perspective, from mere survival to purpose. "We are being watched," Lena said during one briefing, eyes shining with a mix of awe and responsibility. "Not just by the Xyrax, but by countless others. The satellite's awakening has announced our arrival. Now it's up to us to prove who we are." Alex nodded, feeling the gravity of her words. "We've fought hard to protect our home. But now we have to prepare, to explore, to learn, and to defend. The galaxy is vast, and we are just beginning to understand our place within it." Outside the command center, Rami Singh stood by a viewport, watching the stars drift slowly past. The war had changed him. The carefree confidence of youth had been tempered by loss and responsibility. Yet beneath the scars was a fierce pride. "We're no longer just survivors," he said to a fellow pilot. "We're explorers, guardians, and if anyone thinks they can take us lightly again, they'll learn the hard way." His words echoed, the unspoken truth felt throughout Earth's forces. Humanity's journey had transformed from one of desperate defense to bold advancement. The fragile alliances forged with former enemies opened doors to knowledge once beyond reach. Cultural exchanges blossomed, enriching both sides and weaving a tapestry of shared destiny. Yet uncertainty lingered like a shadow. The universe was vast and indifferent. Other civilizations watched from afar, some curious, others wary. The battles to come would test humanity's resolve in ways unforeseen. Alex often found himself awake at night pondering what lay beyond the next horizon. "We've won this war," he thought, "but the real journey, our true test, is just beginning." Back on Earth, life moved forward. Cities rebuilt, families reunited, and children dreamed beneath skies now free of war's dark stain. Yet the satellite's presence was a constant reminder, a silent sentinel orbiting above, watching, waiting. Its ancient systems hummed with secrets, whispering of civilizations past and futures yet to be written. Lena spent long hours interfacing with the AI, seeking to understand its will and purpose. The line between her consciousness and the machine blurred further, raising questions that scientists and philosophers would debate for years. "What does it mean to be alive?" she mused during one session. "Is consciousness a spark or a stream? Can a machine dream? And if it can, what does it dream of?" These questions were more than academic. They touched the core of humanity's evolving identity. The satellite was not just a tool, it was a companion, a guide, and perhaps a guardian. It challenged humanity to look beyond survival toward a greater destiny. As months passed, Earth's place in the galaxy grew clearer. New alliances formed, trade routes opened, and missions ventured beyond the solar system. Explorers carried humanity's flag into the unknown, fueled by curiosity and courage. Alex prepared for one such mission, knowing that leadership meant embracing change and uncertainty. Before departing, he visited the observation deck one last time. The stars beckoned, endless, mysterious, and beautiful. "We were never meant to stay hidden," he whispered. "The universe is vast, but so is our spirit. We will rise again and again, because that is what it means to be human." The satellite's gentle pulse echoed in the silence, a steady heartbeat accompanying humanity's first steps toward the stars. The journey was far from over, but the foundation had been laid, a foundation built on resilience, trust, sacrifice, and hope. The galaxy had awakened to a new force. Earth was ready. The days after the battle unfolded like the quiet after a storm, calm but charged with an electric undercurrent. Earth's leaders convened in secure chambers, their faces etched with exhaustion and hope. Alex found himself at the heart of these gatherings, the burden of command never far from his mind. The victory was hard won, but the wounds were deep, and the questions pressing. "How do we move forward?" a council member asked during one tense meeting, voice edged with uncertainty. Alex leaned forward, eyes sharp. "We move forward by remembering what made us strong, not just our weapons or technology, but our creativity, our ability to adapt when faced with the impossible." The room nodded, but doubt lingered. The Zyrax threat had receded, but the galaxy was vast and unknown. Other civilizations watched, curious and cautious. Some saw Earth's rise as a beacon, others saw it as a potential rival. The balance was delicate. Meanwhile, Lena Ortiz delved deeper into the satellite's mysteries. Her connection to Sentinel-7 had evolved beyond mere interface, her consciousness intertwined with the ancient AI in ways no one fully understood. At times, she would sit quietly in the lab, eyes closed, as if listening to whispers from the machine. "It's like it's alive," she confided to Alex during a rare break. "Not alive like us, but aware. It watches, it learns, it remembers things no human ever will." Alex studied her, sensing the weight behind her words. "Do you think it will guide us, or judge us again?" "That's the question," she replied, softly. "This artifact was designed to test civilizations, to see if they were worthy of the stars. We passed, but the test isn't over. It's just beginning." The revelation stirred a mix of awe and unease. Humanity's victory was not just over the Zyrax, it was over doubt and fear within themselves. They had stepped onto a larger stage, one filled with ancient guardians and silent watchers. Across the planet, life began to heal. Cities rebuilt from rubble shimmered with new energy, skyscrapers gleaming under clear skies, communities reunited with stories of bravery and loss. Families gathered in quiet remembrance, honoring those who had given everything. Memorials sprang up near launch sites and training grounds, places where the fallen had prepared to defend their home. Rami Singh found solace in the skies, returning to flight with a renewed sense of purpose. Each mission now carried a weight beyond the tactical. It was a promise to the future, a shield for those who could not fight. He flew alongside new pilots, sharing tales of the battle and lessons learned in the heat of combat. "We're the guardians now," he told them, voice steady. "The universe is watching, and we have to be ready." The Human-Zyrax alliance, fragile but growing, opened doors to understanding. Zyrax defectors brought knowledge of their culture, technology, and histories long hidden. In exchange, humanity shared art, music, and stories, bridges spanning the gulf between species. Cultural exchanges blossomed aboard space stations and Earth's orbiting hubs. Old enemies found common ground in shared goals and mutual respect, yet trust remained a precious commodity. Suspicion lingered on both sides, memories of war casting long shadows. Negotiations were painstaking, alliances tested by political intrigue, and the scars of betrayal. Alex often reminded his team, trust isn't given, it's earned, and once broken, it's hard to rebuild. In quieter moments, Lena wrestled with her own transformation. The line between human and machine blurred, raising questions about identity and purpose. Am I still myself? She wondered aloud during a private conversation with Alex. Or have I become something else, part human, part something greater? Alex's gaze softened. Whatever you are, you're still one of us. And maybe that's the future, hybrid, evolving stronger together. The satellite itself remained an enigma, its silent orbit a constant presence. Teams of scientists, linguists, and engineers worked tirelessly to decode its messages, revealing fragments of an ancient civilization's wisdom and warnings. Lena's connection gave humanity access to knowledge far beyond their own, but with it came responsibility. The satellite was not just a tool, it was a guardian and a guide with its own purpose that might one day challenge human ambition. As the months passed, Earth expanded its reach. Explorers launched probes to neighboring star systems, eager to map the unknown and establish contact. Colonies sprouted on moons and asteroids, symbols of humanity's determination to thrive beyond their blue planet. Space stations buzzed with activity, a hive of international cooperation and discovery. Alex prepared to lead one such mission, a voyage into the heart of a newly discovered system. The crew was a blend of seasoned veterans and eager scientists, embodying the spirit of humanity's new chapter. Before departure, Alex gathered them on the observation deck, the stars blazing in the vast darkness beyond. We stand at the threshold of a new era, he said, voice steady. Our past has forged us, but our future will define us. We are explorers, warriors and dreamers. Whatever lies ahead, we face it together. Among the crew, a quiet tension mingled with excitement. Friendships had formed in the crucible of war, romances kindled in stolen moments under artificial skies. The bonds between them were their greatest strength, a human tapestry woven through adversity. As the ship's engines hummed to life, Alex lingered a moment longer, gazing back at Earth, a vibrant jewel floating in the dark. The journey was vast and uncertain, but the hope that burned within humanity was brighter than any star. The satellite's soft pulse echoed in his mind, a reminder that they were never truly alone. Guardians watched, challenges awaited, but humanity had risen, ready to meet the universe not as primitive wanderers, but as equals, as pioneers. The stars beckoned, and humanity answered.